Matt Cardona is living his best life. He got fired from the Fed back in 2020 during the pandemic, and that man went out there and proved me wrong about him. JD, what we called him on Brace for Impact for 2 years?
Mid Cardona.
We called him Mid Cardona. In fact, we called him that so much and used that hashtag so much that they called him Mid Cardona on TNA. Like Moose, would call him that. And that name kind of stuck. And like all of our friends, they would go on their podcasts and they would call him Mid Cardona. He ended up having some pretty good matches in TNA. He did some crazy stuff in GCW. He ended up working for Ring of Honor. He worked for AEW multiple times. He worked all over the world. And he got him for 5 years, and he redefined what it is to be an independent wrestler. He redefined how to make money. He put a blueprint out there for all these people, especially the ones that get fired from WWE and they don't know how to live their life, right? Because they're spoon-fed everything once they get to that company, and they've never really worked the independence before. He created a roadmap for how to get yourself over, to how to make money, all of that stuff. And because of that, I say that Matt Cardona is a great pro wrestler. A great pro wrestler. Is he Ricky Steamboat in the ring? Of course not. Can he have good matches? Yes, especially with the right opponent. Is he ever going to carry like some bad wrestler to a great match? Of course not. But pro wrestling is more than what you do in between the ropes. What is more than what you do bell to bell. It's the entire package, and this guy's got it, and I'm happy for him to get back to the WWE. I'm not going to watch him because I don't really care for their presentation of pro wrestling, but I'm happy for that guy. He is winning at life. Good for him. Matt Cardona, God bless him.
I agree. He wanted to go back from jump. He figured out a way. He kind of followed the Cody Rhodes playbook, but he's nowhere near the worker Cody Rhodes is.
Yeah.
So he figured it out. When GCW was kind of at their most popular, he was a phenomenal heel over there as the anti-deathmatch guy. He did I remember he did a run-in around All Out 2021-ish where he acted like Moxley and they took off the mask and it was Matt Cardona and it was fucking great. Like I don't really care for his work, but I respect his work ethic so much. Like from the jump, like back in 2011, like 15 years ago, this dude got himself over on YouTube and they got mad at him because he got over. So they kind of like fucked with him. And he was there for 9 years, like 9 years doing whatever they told him to do, got himself over every chance he got released unceremoniously, and just kept working. Just kept working. Had shots everywhere. And I'm sure he was crazy frustrated because I remember him kind of like wishing he had a job with AEW. They wouldn't give him a full-time gig. They bring him in here and there. You know, he went in. I saw someone in the chat saying Matt Cardona seems happier in TNA. I don't think that's accurate. No. He seemed pretty fucking stoked to be back in WWE.
This is his dream.
Right. He's got a super hot wife.
Yeah.
And like he's back to where he wants to be. He'll probably retire in WWE. Like the guy he just proved he much like a Drew Galloway, he got himself released, worked his way back in there with his limited skill set. So kudos, man. Pro wrestling's about figuring out how to get over. Dude, Big Daddy sold a whole lot of tickets in the UK and he was fucking terrible. So
no shit, man. Like Sid's one of my favorite wrestlers, and like I love Sid matches, and he was not Ricky Steamboat either, right?
No.
Like, and if I say that someone's great, and you say, well, where are his 5-star matches? And I say, who gives a fuck about 5 stars? Legitimately, like that's one guy's opinion. That's Dave's opinion, and I respect Dave's opinion. Dave's star ratings for me, this is what I use Dave's ratings for, is like, hey, I haven't seen this match before. Dave liked it. Let me go check that out. Or cage match is the same way. Oh, it's this highly rated on a cage match. That just because it's a high rated or low rated, that doesn't mean I'm going to like it or dislike it. Right. I have my own opinion of it. Someone told me that Kurt Angle never had a 5-star match. Yes, he did. Like, well, where? I don't find it. I fucking said that he had a 5-star match. I watched it and I gave it 5 stars, whatever the fuck that means. Right. 5 stars doesn't mean a goddamn thing anymore because you get 7 now. Right. So like 5 out of 7, I thought you liked it. Right. Like that sounds like a B+ to me. So like, that's my, like, Dave is great. I love Dave. I respect Dave, but that is one person's opinion about what a 5-star match is, right? What a great match is. If Dave could rate something 4 stars and I can give it 5 stars, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. It should not dictate whether or not you like the match, right? One time I thought that Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo a few years ago on pay-per-view tore the house down. Like the crowd was into it. They hit all the moves. Like it was such crisp and clean, great technical wrestling, hard hitting, great near falls. And I was like, man, it's like a 4.5 star match. I read the Observer and it's 2 stars. It's like, okay, he wasn't paying attention, right? Like it's just his opinion. Star ratings don't mean a goddamn thing other than like Dave liked it. And that's it.
I think I have a real weird relationship with ratings because coming from the independent author space is when you get people to read books and you encourage them to give you a 5-star rating because it games the algorithm. So like this thought is if I liked it, it was 5 stars.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the idea that we have in this particular culture base. Right. And the problem I think with Dave's ratings is he will sit there and tell you it's not opinion. It's what it was. Like, because of like Dave will say things like Kenny Omega Moxley from Full Gear 2019. He's like, I hated the match. It was gross. It was brutal. It was disgusting. I did not like it. 5 stars.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Like, and I think that's where Dave, and again, Dave is a unique entity and he frustrates people. And like, I remember I was on Reddit the other day and some guy's like, okay, Dave. And he's like, I argue with Dave on Twitter all the time. And I'm like, dude, Dave will argue with anyone on Twitter. Dave loves to argue with faceless wonders on Twitter. I don't know why, but he just does. And I think what frustrates, and again, it's fine. Dave's opinion can be different than your opinion. There's no problem with that. I think the frustrating thing about Dave sometimes is he doesn't say those matches are his opinions. Yeah. And and it's fun. I don't like doing this because we have a lot of mutual. I hung out with Dave Meltzer twice, and I didn't say really much to him, so I don't really know him. I'm not going to pretend like I do. Yeah,
but we
run in circles. We run in circles.
Right. It's safe to say that we really admire Dave, and I do. I really do admire him.
Super admire
Dave. The people that I don't like are the ones that live and die by the star ratings, right? Agreed. And they try to validate their opinions by what Dave has to say. And I stand on your own business, dude.
I think that river flows 2 ways. Yeah. I think the people that sit there and will say that something is terrible because Dave liked it, or that Dave must be, co-opted because he liked this match. Yeah. In my opinion, they're worse. Yeah. Like I think it bothered people. Like, what the fuck does Dave know? I'm like, Dave knows enough that like he's been making a living doing this shit for 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, and I told somebody that once. I'm like, yes, your opinion, so my opinion is just as valid as Dave's. I said, Dave makes well over 6 figures a year doing nothing but giving his opinion and talking about wrestling. You're sitting here I say you pay for Twitter. Like you have that's my favorite insult. You pay for Twitter. Like, I mean, you have like 30 followers. Nobody gives a fuck what you think. And again, your follower count doesn't matter. But if you're trying to pass yourself off as a tastemaker, like, dude, Dave just says shit and the people just follow it. And whether you agree with it or disagree with it, there's no one else in the wrestling space that can say something and have people up in arms positively and negatively. Yeah. Nobody has that power other than Dave Meltzer. And I'll credit him, but I'll be like, there's a lot of times I'm like, it doesn't make sense what you said there, Dave. And he's not above criticism, but at the same time, like you got to realize that this guy is the most important non-major company affiliated presence in multiple generations of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, and you cannot agree with the star because star ratings are dumb in everything.
Yeah. It's dumb in movies. Like, yes. But here's what it's good for. Like, if I'm like looking up a movie that I want to watch, sometimes I go to Rotten Tomatoes. I used to go to Siskel and Ebert. It's like, did they get the thumb? No, they didn't get the thumb. And then after a while, I realized that me and Siskel and Ebert don't exactly agree on what movies we like, because one time they both gave thumbs down to Eraser starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Eraser ruled.
That's a fun movie. They gave thumbs down to The Thing, which is largely considered the greatest horror movie ever made.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's gross. No fucking shit. It's a horror movie. Like,
there's going to be, guys, this is going to sound weird, but there's going to be matches that I like that you guys probably wouldn't like, right? Like there was a match between Matt Cardona and Jordan Grace in a what was it called? A social media match where they were hitting each other over the head with Nokia flip phones. I loved that match. So it was so stupid, but I had so much fun watching that match. And when someone said, Mike, was it good? I was like, okay, good is a strong word, but I enjoyed it. It was dumb. I enjoyed it. They pulled out all the gimmicks, but would I recommend it to you? You probably wouldn't like the match because it's not your style. It's not your thing.
And I'll tell you what, I used to, before I got diagnosed with celiac disease, I really enjoyed a McDonald's double cheeseburger. It was like, I like McDonald's double cheeseburger. I really did. Yeah. Is it good? Not really. Is it good
No.
for me? I don't know. But I mean, like, sometimes it just hit the spot. I can't do it
Yeah.
anymore though, because they actually put beef in everything. They put gluten in everything, even the beef. Like,
Yeah. So
sometimes good is what is good? Like, what does good mean? What is good?
did you have fun watching the match? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Then it's good, and then you can give it whatever star rating you want. So you don't need anybody else to validate your opinion of what that is. So if I say that someone is a great wrestler, and you come back to me with a history of Dave's star ratings, like Dave doesn't seem to get this guy, or this guy doesn't appeal to what Dave likes in pro wrestling, right? But he
And
does
also,
appeal to me.
but also, I think Dave. I don't know if Dave will admit this, but Dave does not grade matches the way he used to grade them. He
Yeah.
just doesn't. Like, there's a reason why there's so many more. Like the 1994 All Japan, oh goddamn, Kawada Misawa match was largely considered like the greatest match ever, 5 stars. And like, there's a lot of 5-star matches that aren't nearly as good as that now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Again, it's all opinion. And I think this is what kind of makes you and I different than a lot of people on this network in particular. I think on this network in particular, there's a lot of voices that do put a lot of credence. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of voices that put a lot of credence in star ratings and, more smart traditional based stuff, where I think you and I are a little bit more not fed pilled, but I mean, like, I think we kind of are a little bit more, well, did you like it? Was it fun? Did you enjoy this? And are a little less on the academically looking at pro wrestling. I think a lot of people try to be try to look at things like from a critical or an academic perspective when judging pro wrestling. I don't think either you or I tend to do that.
You're a
TNA fan.
Yeah, we don't overthink this shit, right?
No.
Right. Just like we started the show off talking about Running Man and how we really enjoyed it. But I think that it's probably not going to get Oscar nominated.
No.
Unless it's for like cinematography or some shit.
Well, and there's been talk about the problem with the Oscars lately is there's movies that are made to win Oscars now.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for a while. And it's never anything that people actually see. And they're like, there's a huge disconnect now, especially in the film industry, because they're having such a hard time getting people to the movies. Right? The pandemic really did change the way most people imbibe entertainment. So getting people out to the movies is very difficult. Because it's very difficult, it's become super expensive. So if you're going to take your family to the movies, you're dropping $100, right?
Yeah.
And the movies you're going to go see typically aren't Oscar fare, right? So then you have this huge disconnect going on of all these movies that are nominated for Oscars. And it's nothing that everyone ever sees. So like, it's like, there was a time when like the popcorn movie could be the best movie of the year, right? Like, dude, Mel Gibson fell off the fucking planet. Don't get me wrong, but I love Braveheart. That was an Oscar-nominated film, right?
Yeah.
Like I loved Lord of the Rings, right? That one movie won an Oscar. Like we've gotten away from like even a movie like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which was a foreign film, which was like kind of is this kung fu foreign film, very snobby, but had a shit ton of crossover appeal, and normal people were going to see that movie.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't go to see Parasite. As good a movie as that was, it wasn't drawing in like regular folks. And you can blame the Marvel movies all you want. People like seeing those. We've got this huge entertainment disconnect right now. And I see that a lot. And I see it in wrestling too, where like, if people like stuff, then, if normal people like stuff, then it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm glad we had this discussion because I felt like I was on an island over there. But
we're pretty similar in that regard. Like, I mean, yeah. I never thought like people would say a 5-star match. I don't fucking know. I can't tell you what a 5-star match is. Yeah. I know I liked it or I didn't like it or I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I liked it. I fucking loved it. Like, that's where I'm at. But I can't put a star in that, let alone a quarter of a star. I don't know how to fucking knock off a quarter of a star. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right. It's hard to quantify how much you like something. It's like you either like it or you don't. Now, where the star ratings come in handy, like I've already mentioned this, but it's like if you give something a high rating too, sometimes I'll make sure I go out of my way to check it out. But I feel like I've seen so many 5, 6, 7-star matches. They kind of bleed together for me now because like that's almost the norm these days, especially on big pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. And so they don't really mean as much as they used to. Back in the day, you'd get a few 5-star matches a year. And now it's like, if you don't have a 5-star match, it's probably, you start thinking, well, does Dave not like me? like what does Dave have against me?
There's a lot
I
of that
thought he
too.
liked it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too. Where people take this, and I understand taking your work personally, dude. I believe me. I've had some bad reviews on Amazon that make me go, like, but that's okay. People cannot like you. It's why you're best off not reading. If there's happens to be a professional wrestler listening to the show, don't read Dave's review of your work. It's just gonna bug you. Like, unless you can completely compartmentalize that shit, don't read that stuff. It's not good for you to read harsh criticism of your work.